Hi, everyone. Kathy Rose here. I'm here to talk to you about the astrological patterns for August 2024. And we have an exceptionally adventurous and high energy month here. I'm very much looking forward to trying to explain this incredible journey we get to go on through this month. We begin with the mandala that's on screen. It is representing Leo energy, and you can see how dynamic it is. It has crowns in it, which is talking about the royal energy that Leo carries. Let's dive in and let's just go step by step here. One of the themes we have for August will be this amazing Mercury retrograde that's going to happen. And we get to review the concept of humility connected to leadership. Two things that don't always go together. But this is going to trigger a lot. The Mercury retrograde begins in Virgo and ends in Leo. So I'll be talking about that here in a moment. There is enormous intellectual nervous system energy all around us for the month. And I like to think that what we're really being offered is a nervous system upgrade, an upgrade in our nervous system response. So be prepared for that. Learning to manage your nervous system is going to be incredibly important. And then there's just a theme that is super powerful, which deals with persuasion, propaganda, and partisanship. Now, I'm in the US, and of course, the US election is going on, the presidential election, and that is self-explanatory here. Propaganda, partisanship, yeah, that happens in every election. But if you're not in the US, this is still true because we're in a very dynamic time of trying to discern what information is accurate and what is filled with propaganda, what is AI. It's a central theme for August. So we're going to explore that also. Let's begin with looking at the new moon in Leo, August 4th, 7:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is a chart set for Washington, D.C. New moon in Leo, any year, any time, is always going to key into our idea of our own internal authority and our own sense of confidence and our own ability to shine and to radiate our sense of self to the world, because Leo is a very dramatic energy, but it's also extroverted. So that's one of the first things we think about with this new moon in Leo, but it's modified quite a bit because we are in a very powerful time with energy from Uranus circulating and shaking things up and breaking up stagnation. In this particular lunation, Uranus will be square Venus. Venus at 29 Leo, Uranus at almost 27 degrees. So, if we go back and we look at what happened in July, when we had Mars-Uranus conjunct, that started an intensified wave of awakening energy, but also of breaking up stagnation and movement. And here in the United States, what happened? Well, we had Donald Trump being shot, and we had President Biden dropping out of the race. A big wave of change swirled around us. A lot of unpredictable energy. Well, it's going to continue in August. Very, very much. But in addition to this Uranian energy, we're going to have Mars-Jupiter approaching the conjunction in Gemini. And for the new moon, it's going to be squaring Mercury. Mercury will be applying to the square. But what this suggests is this high voltage, high energy, communication energy flowing all around us. And the very next day, Mercury moves into the retrograde phase. So we have the new moon in Leo on the 4th, and then on the 5th, Mercury begins the retrograde at 4 degrees of Virgo. And it stays retrograde until August 28th, at which point it moves into direct motion at 21 Leo. So for those of you who know your chart, If you have planets or angles in your natal chart between 21 Leo and 4 Virgo, then you are going to receive a direct hit from prolonged Mercury energy. And you want that. I want to receive Mercury retrogrades because then I get a high dose of Mercury energy for problem solving, for productivity, for organizing my thoughts, for reviewing. I find Mercury retrogrades to be very powerful and positive. For if you don't have direct contact, you are going to have the review, as I mentioned in the beginning, between humility and leadership. Virgo is the humility part. Virgo is service energy. Leo is dynamic confidence and leadership. And we would all benefit right now if we formulated the idea in our mind. What would leadership merged with service and humility really look like? How could we merge these two energies? Here in the United States, we get to look at that via the presidential election or campaign, anyway, when everything tends to get exaggerated. But please know, this particular Mercury retrograde is going to super activate both candidates' charts. Vice President Harris will receive this Mercury retrograde contact to her IC, which is one of the angles in the charts, the fourth house cusp. Former President Trump is going to receive this Mercury energy to his ascendant. So Vice President Harris has 2 degrees Virgo on her IC. So she's going to be activated with wanting to project her soul, her core. And she's going to be wanting to project that through the terms of Virgo. Donald Trump is going to be communicating through the terms of Leo, much more dramatically, with much more ego. Now, this is not an evaluation, and this is not public support of either candidate. This is astrology. I want to stay neutral here. I'm not trying to villainize either candidate, but it's going to be a very, very active month politically, whether you are involved with a US election or not. That energy circulates throughout the world. Everybody's talking about this particular race. During the Mercury retrograde cycle, mid-August, then what makes this even louder is the exact Mars-Jupiter conjunction, which is going to happen right at that mid-August timeframe, and it's going to be square to Saturn in Pisces. So the graphic I chose on screen sort of depicts part of the energy pattern, which is frenetic, right? It's beautiful, but it's frenetic. It's active. It's high voltage. Mars, Jupiter, and Gemini will be active the entire month, but most active mid-month. And that is this explosion of information energy. Information expanded. Our nervous system being bombarded with frenetic energy. And the Saturn in Pisces adds that layer of wondering, is it true? Is it not true? What's the truth here? Now, if you have planets or angles in your natal chart located between 12 mutable to 19 mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, then you are going to be most affected by this conjunction, the conjunction between Mars, Jupiter, square Saturn. And it may feel fairly frenetic to you. So you need to be aware of that. And I absolutely recommend for the entire month of August, whether you have planets at this exact point or not, that you practice cleansing your aura every single day. Work on energetic hygiene. Cleanse your aura, seal it. Be in command of your own energy field. Realize that your energy field operates as a buffer or a filter for outside frequencies. So you want to have your energy field consolidated and strong so that you are walking with authority, so that you are not bombarded or buffeted or pushed around by all of this incredible frenetic energy in the field around us. I call it information on steroids. Think that one through, right? And the graphic I chose at the bottom of the screen depicts some of the frequencies that we will all experience. When I talked about in the themes for the month, persuasion, propaganda, and partisanship, I thought I would just go to Wikipedia for the definition of propaganda. And I copied and pasted it and put it on here because it is so relevant. Propaganda is communication that is primarily used to influence or persuade an audience to further an agenda, which may or may not be objective and may be selectively presenting facts to encourage a particular synthesis or perception, or using loaded language to produce an emotional rather than a rational response to the information that is being presented. Meditate on that every day. Copy and paste this slide. Take some time to really ponder this, because it is so easy right now to slide into agreement with the groups we are affiliated to, to immediately embrace information that is connected to people that we agree. And we don't necessarily take the time to question. I say question everything right now. Really, question everything. Filter it, stand back, observe and not absorb, and question. Because information on steroids, we are really going to be intensely influenced. And that's why I think the Mercury retrograde happens at the same time as Jupiter-Mars conjunct. It is an opportunity for us to have discernment at a new level. And it's really fascinating. And I welcome this opportunity, and I hope you do too. Which then leads us to the full moon in Aquarius, which furthers the theme. That's all I have to say. I could end there and say, okay, we're done. The full moon in Aquarius just continues the theme. So here we have Sun, Mercury conjunct in Leo, opposite moon in Aquarius, square exactly to Uranus. This is a need to break up stagnation, a need to have adventure. It's high voltage, it's high electricity. Fascinatingly enough, going back to the US, understanding that not everybody that listens to this video is in the US, but isn't it fascinating that Sun Mercury will be on former President Trump's ascendant and Mars? And the moon in Aquarius will be almost exactly conjunct Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris's Saturn in Aquarius. And that 27-degree Aquarius is the same moon that the United States has. This is high voltage. This is igniting their energy, Harris and Trump's energy, and thrusting it out into public view so that we all get to learn. So there is a learning opportunity for us in the world and personally by what's happening with this election. Not saying that the United States is the most important thing for the entire world, but this is standing out to me in so many ways, that there is something powerful happening with this US presidential election that will ripple through the entire world in consciousness. Even though I know other parts of the world are going through major change also. So I'm not ignorant of that fact. So during this full moon, we will still have Mars, Jupiter. Mars will just be 2 degrees beyond Jupiter, but it will be square to Saturn still. And again, Saturn in Pisces, that's offering what's real and what's not real. Am I hypnotically being sucked into agreement, or am I discerning? Because we're going to be so very much bombarded with information. This is powerful. So I want to take a second and explain to you that the way I view astrology is that planets are frequencies. And here's an example of how I picture the earth. When I do a meditation on the earth, this is actually how I'm seeing it right now, that this beautiful planet we live on, the earth itself, is receiving frequencies from all the other planets that are, waves of high energy. And the earth is kind of protected with this network, but there's a whole lot of movement happening, in particular from the planet Uranus, affecting us all right now. And when we receive Uranus frequencies, Uranus is designed to break up stagnation and stale energy and to move us forward. Uranus is the unpredictable. Uranus is change. And what happens to the earth and to all the people on the earth and to every one of us right now is that we are being taught to release the false security of the predictable. Uranus is bringing in adventure and change. We don't know what's going to happen at any moment right now. And part of the Uranus frequency is awakening, freedom and awakening. And what's going on is we are being awakened to our inner potential and the incredible capacity we all have to deal successfully with the unexpected. Isn't that interesting? That's the Leo new moon. That's the full moon in Aquarius. Awaken to our inner potential and our incredible capacity to deal successfully with what life offers, even if we don't expect it. And what we get to learn with this incredible frequency bombarding us all is that we are capable of far more than we realize. We are so incredibly capable, and we can accomplish so much more when we are pushed to expand out to a new level. And so Uranus being such an active player, and it will be an active player for a while, till spring of next year in particular, as it particularly transits the 27th degree of Taurus. These frequencies of high voltage, unpredictable change energies can open us up to a new level of growth, because what happens is it's disruptive. It's disruptive of our routine, of our security, and it's a gift. The disruption of routine is the gift offered from Uranus. And what we need is willingness to move beyond our comfort zones right now, willingness to expand our confidence that we can deal with life successfully, as I mentioned earlier, willingness to question all the information that's bombarding us, and to connect with our individuality enough to come to our own conclusion, to run it through our own consciousness and not just believe because the information we're receiving comes from our team, our associates, our people that we agree with. This is such a powerful time to awaken. All right, my final thoughts for the month of August will be to be very, very aware of your heart chakra. So this is a mandala I did early on. And I remember, I hadn't really developed all of the techniques I had later in doing mandalas, but this one was focused on heart energy, the heart chakra, and the ability to radiate and shine lovingness when the heart chakra is open. So I would recommend to you, whatever you do, whatever experience you have in August, to be mindful of your heart and to open that energy. And you might even want to go to my YouTube channel and check out my chakra flush meditation and do that. It's a long meditation and it's pretty deep, but focus on flushing your system and opening up your heart chakra, activating so that you are present and aware. And of course, cleanse your aura every day, please. I do have that aura cleansing meditation on my YouTube. You can create your own technique, consolidate your energy field, seal it, Be in charge of your own energy. And then embrace this beautiful adventure we have in August. Understand, yes, we're going to be affected and bombarded by a whole lot of information on steroids, and upgrade your nervous system so that you are in charge of your reactions. And observe what happens in the world. Observe how the games are played. Observe what you think leadership really looks like. What an incredible opportunity we have in August. And all we have to do is step up and embrace the challenge. And I think it's going to be wonderfully fun. All right. So, as always, much love to you, many blessings. And I look forward to seeing you for the September forecast. Bye for now.